Well, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to share with you one of the most simplest ways to earn an extra $100,000 a year. Coming up next. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with your hotel, motel, Airbnb, bed and breakfast, etc., extra $100,000 a year, this technique, tried and proven by myself and others, make an extra $100,000 a year. Now, I put together a short little video coming up next. Let's go ahead and listen in now. All right, let's talk a little bit about the market, evaluating the market here. Now, I have something I want to talk about. $10 a day adds up to $100,000 a year. Now, so the reason why I want to talk about this is because it's important to fight for $10. Now, and to motivate yourself, just know that you're not fighting for the $10, you're fighting for $100,000 a year, which adds up to $1 million in a decade. So when you're fighting for $10, you strive, you work hard to get an extra $10. All right, well, on this first part of the video I made, now this was quite some time ago, I basically just point out how important it is to fight for every extra dollar. It's important to fight for an extra $10 per room, to gather an extra $5 here, an extra $5 there. It really adds up. I mean, if you have a small property, even 25 rooms, that's an extra $250. By fighting for that extra $10, $250 a day, it quickly adds up to $100,000, $1 million over a decade. And you think, well, yeah, that's common sense. We know that. Well, a lot of people don't really know how important it is to fight for that extra $10. You think maybe it's just $10. What's the big deal about $10? You don't want to risk coming off or offending somebody or ruining your reputation by fighting for an extra $10, and you always take that gamble of not getting the booking or not getting any booking at all. But I just basically point out how and to create ways in pulling in an extra $5 or $10 per room. And I do have some really neat tricks, things that have worked for me and for my family, etc., in the hospitality business, where you can get an extra $5 or $10 per room, per night. And I think you really enjoy that. That's for another video, but I just want to quickly, towards the end of this clip I made quite some time ago, I talk about, should you sell early or should you hoard rooms and sell later? You know, you're taking that risk whether or not the market price will go up or go down. And I'll talk about that for a little bit here for a minute or two. I think you'll find it beneficial listening here. All right, now the next point I want to talk about here is what I got here. Market evaluation. $94 is better than $54, but it could be $194. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, imagine in your area there are, say, 2,500 rooms available every night. And you're getting, now say it's a Tuesday night on the 5th of the month. It just so happens that 2,000 people will need a room for that night. So now you have 2,000 rooms occupied, and there's going to be an extra 500 rooms on the market. So now, say if you want to advertise your rooms, and these people, these 2,000 people that are coming in, are going to book their rooms in advance. Say they start looking on their calendar, and they start looking for a room a month in advance. So your room needs to be on the market, needs to be competitive. It just so happens that the room rate for that night, competitive rate, is $94. So if you book them out a month in advance, you get them in for $94. Now here's where the big issue comes into play, is that so now the 5th of the month comes, and there are 500 rooms available on the market. So now that you have 500 rooms available, and nobody to fill those rooms, what's going to happen to the price? Well, the price is going to go down. You might be able to get somebody to book a room for $54 because there's so many rooms available. The market crashes. Now it's a plummet. It's a race to the bottom. You get somebody in for $54. So you definitely want to have somebody. It's better to have somebody in for $94 when you're booking out a month in advance rather than $54 the night of. But now here's the thing. So now say in your area you have 2,500 rooms available. But it just so happens that 3,000 people need a room for that night. Now, if you booked it out a month in advance at $94, that's great. That's certainly much better than $54. But at that night, when there's an extra 500 people who need a room, but there's no rooms available, they would be happy to pay $194. You see? That's certainly better than sleeping in their car or traveling possibly to another city to find a room. And now, so this is the issue that people face, is evaluating the market. Do you hold out? Do you hold out and try to get that $194? Or do you play it safe and try to get the $94? It was a trade-off of $54 or even zero. And there are definitely strategies and tricks to evaluate this market, and we could talk about that in future videos. Thank you so much.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you find that beneficial. Fighting for the extra $5, $10, tips, tricks, etc., that you can earn an extra $5 or $10 per room. Please share your tricks and strategies. Car dealerships do this all the time. Do you want an extended warranty? Do you want extra financing, lower payments, etc.? To tack on those extra, cargo covers, floor mats, extra $5 or $10. You fight for it, and it really adds up for your business, etc. Now, if you have some tricks, some tips to share with us, we really appreciate it. Now, when I say us, I mean everybody who watches this. They read the comments, etc. I could talk about it in future videos, but I enjoy learning, and I would appreciate it if you shared with me. Now, okay, so we covered that. We got other videos. We're going to talk more about this. How to get more money, how to evaluate the market. Do you sell early? Do you sell later, etc.? And check out the website. Subscribe to this channel. Follow the social media, etc. Do all those things. If you hotel, motel, Airbnb, bed and breakfast, etc. Well, we're building a group here together, a group of friends. We can work together, help increase our revenue. That's important, and we also provide a great service for the community. Everybody, will need a room if they're traveling somewhere, and we want to provide great hospitality. Now, I was thinking earlier, hospitality and the things that we do, it doesn't end or begin with just a great room at a great price. It begins with a serious care and concern for our fellow human beings. That's where the real hospitality comes in. And thank you so much. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you soon.